today we're creating a zero-based budget for a single woman who currently lives at home and brings home a total of $4,530 a month in net income. But hold up, this single woman is currently a scientist, but she's also drowning in debt and she's behind on her bills. So let's go ahead and create a zero-based budget for this subscriber. What's up guys, it's Jeanetta from Cash and Curls, and if you're new here, I teach millennials how to save, budget, and eliminate debts. Today we're back with another episode of Budgeting with Cash and Curls. Guys, today I'm actually helping out a loyal subscriber within the Cash and Curls community create a zero-based budget. I believe this video is going to help two different types of people. First and foremost, I believe this video is going to help those who are high income earners who still find themselves being broke. Secondly, I believe this video will be extremely helpful for those who are currently living at home, okay? So be sure to give this video a thumbs up and do not forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Guys, we're super close to reaching 1,000 subscribers here on YouTube, and I believe by the end of the year, we can definitely reach this goal. So definitely be sure to hit that subscribe button, and let's go ahead and jump into the video agenda. For today's video, we're going to first and foremost create Mary's budget as is using the numbers that she provided to me. Secondly, I'm going to add my special Cash and Curls touch to Mary's budget to help it become zero-based. And thirdly, I'm going to give you guys some recommendations specifically for those who have high incomes and those who are living at home. And lastly, of course, I'm going to leave you guys with some homework. So be sure to stick around to the end so that you can definitely jump on these recommendations and complete your homework, okay? Mary is a 26-year-old single woman who currently does not have any children, and she lives at home with her mom in Tennessee. Mary is looking to get current on her bills, and she's also looking to get out of debt. Mary currently works as a scientist, and she also gets paid weekly, and Mary's total net income is $4,530.12. So let's go ahead and create a zero-based budget for Mary. Before we go ahead and jump into Mary's budget, the very first thing that we need to do is download my free monthly budget template. If you have not downloaded my free monthly budget template, now is the time to download it, guys. I've had this template up for about a year now, and I can say this is one of my most downloaded freebies on my website, okay? This template right here is perfect for beginners, and it's perfect for those who just want to see their numbers visually out on paper. If you would like to get this freebie, be sure to click the link down in my description box, and while you're at it, be sure to check out my other Budget With Me videos here on YouTube by clicking the link down in my description box, because here on YouTube, I create budgets for real people using their real numbers. You may find a video that is similar to your income or similar to your situation. So definitely be sure to check that out by clicking the link down in my description box. So let's go ahead and jump into Mary's budget. So first things first, I have my two markers here. This lighter color is going to represent the numbers that Mary gave to me, and this darker color is going to represent any changes that I make to her budget. So let's go ahead and start off with her income. So in the form, Mary did state that she gets paid pretty much weekly, okay? Her paychecks fluctuate. So her paycheck one, she gets every 2 weeks, and the second paycheck she gets every 2 weeks, and she also has a side gig once a month. The pay pretty much staggers, so it's like she's getting paid weekly. So let's go ahead and write out what her paychecks are. So paycheck one is $9.21. I'm a little nervous that you guys will not be able to see this. All right, so I'm a little nervous that you guys will not be able to see that light pink. So I'm gonna go ahead and just switch over to this gray marker right here. So her first paycheck is for $921. And so let's do $921.38. Okay. Her second paycheck will be $1,233.92. The next one is $921 again and 38 cents. And then she has another check for $1,233 $1,000,000.92. Okay, she also has a side gig, which I'm going to put off to the side over here. I'm just going to label it SG for side gig, and that's $219.52. Okay, so what we're going to do is go ahead and add up all of her income for the month and see how much she's bringing home. So we have $921.38 plus 1, 2. All right, so it looks like she's bringing home a total of $4,530.12. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and write that under the total income section. Okay, so we have $4,530.12. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into her fixed expenses. So remember, once you download the template, I kind of explained what a fixed expense is versus a variable, but a fixed expense is something that do not fluctuate from month to month. So she actually pays rent. Okay, so I'm gonna write rent, and she pays $400 for rent. She also has a car payment. Okay, and her car payment is $577.24. She also has a phone bill. Okay, and her phone bill is $55 a month. All right, and those were her total fixed expenses. So what I'm going to do is add these numbers up and put our grand total down here. All right, so let's see. So we have 100. All right, so our total fixed expenses is $1,032.24. So I'm going to go ahead and write this on the first line. $1,032.24. All right, so let's go ahead and hop over to our variable expense. These are the things that fluctuate. So far, Mary just stated that she has one variable expense, and that was gas for her car. So we're going to write gas. Okay, and she states that she pays $200 a month in gas. Okay, so our total for this will be $200. Okay, looking at her savings, Mary did not state in her form that she was saving anything, so I'm going to leave this blank, but she did list out some of her monthly debt payments. So for car collections, she is actually paying $160. So I'm going to go ahead and write car collections. Okay, and she's giving them $160 a month. She's also on the SAVE plan for her student loans, and she's not paying anything towards her student loans right now. Just a heads up, I do have a free ebook which basically shares with you guys how you can get started with repaying your student loans within the next 30 days. So be sure to check out that freebie by clicking the link down in my description box. But in addition to that, she also pays to a dental bill that's in collections. And she gives them $270 a month. Okay, and she also has another fair collections that she pays them twice a month. So I'm just going to put fair collections. Fair collection number 1 and number 2. Okay, and she gives them $178.24 every 2 weeks. So I'm going to go ahead and write that twice. Okay, and then that was it. So what I'm going to do now is go ahead and add up how much she's spending on debts each month. Got 160 plus 270 plus 178.24 plus 178.24. All right, so it looks like she's giving her debts $786.48 a month. So let's go ahead and write this on the line. What I'm going to do now is go ahead and add up all of these numbers to see how much money we still have left over. All right, so it looks like we're only spending $2,018 with this budget. So that means we still have some money to work with. What I'm gonna do now is go ahead and take this number up here, our income, and write it down here at the bottom. So each month she brings home $4,530.12. So what I'm gonna do now is take this number and subtract it from the $4,000 to see how much money we're still working with. So 2018.72. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that now. So we got 4530. All right, so it looks like we're still working with $2,511.40. So let's go ahead and allocate this money now. So $2,511.40. All right, so now it's time for me to put my special Cash and Curls twist to Mary's budget to help it become zero based. So what I'm gonna do now is switch my marker to this pink marker, and this is gonna represent the changes or additions that I make to her budget. So first and foremost, I'm going to add a line item in her budget for tithing and giving. You guys know me, I'm a firm believer of tithing and giving, and I'm never going to stop sharing that you should be tithing and giving while you're on your journey. So I'm going to go ahead and give 10% of her income, which will be $453. And this money will go towards any tithing if she's a believer, or just giving away to local charities of her choice. So we're going to put $453 there. So what I'm going to do now is to add this 453 to this number right here to see what our new grand total will be. So we got all right, so our brand new total will be $1,485.24. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that down here. Okay. All right, so that's the only addition that I'm going to make to her fixed expenses. I am going to add a few categories to her variable expenses because I noticed that Mary did state in her budget that she does not budget for food, beauty, or entertainment. So I'm going to add that to her budget because it's crucial. So I'm just going to go ahead and label this food and household. So this will be groceries and household. Okay, and I'm just going to give her $300 since she's living at home. And then I'm also going to add a line item in her budget specifically for beauty and entertainment. Okay, and then I'm going to give her $150 for beauty and entertainment each month. Okay, and then I'm also going to give her a miscellaneous category for things that just may randomly pop up that she didn't plan for. And I'm going to give her $66.40. Okay, so what we're going to go ahead and do now is we're going to add up these numbers to see what our new grand total is. All right, so we got 200 plus 300. All right, so our new grand total is $716.40. So I'm going to go ahead and write this down below, $716.40. All right, so in addition to that, Mary stated that she is not saving. So what I'm going to do is add a line item specifically for her emergency fund. As Mary stated that she has absolutely nothing in savings. So this is definitely a top priority for Mary. So I'm going to go ahead and label this emergency fund. And I'm going to go ahead and give her $1,000 so that she can have her starter emergency fund. Okay, so what I'll do now is I'll just go ahead and add this $1,000 down here for her emergency fund. Okay, so for her debts, I am happy to see that she is at least making some payments towards the things that are in collections and some of her other bills that she have. What I'm going to do now is add a little money to her lowest debt that she currently have, and that is to First Premier, and she can honestly, I believe, pay this off with this budget. So First Premier, okay, I'm going to go ahead and give them the $542. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do now is add this 542 to the 786 to see what our new total will be. All right, so we got 786. All right, so our new grand total is $1,328.48. So I'm gonna go ahead and write that underneath. All right, so what we're gonna do now is go ahead and add up all of these pink totals to see what our new grand total is. So let's go ahead and do that now. Got 1,485. All right, so it looks like we've reached a zero-based budget. Our income, which was written down here, minus all of our expenses, equals zero. Okay, so every single dollar is accounted for, and that's what we want. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and jump into the recommendations for Mary. Let's go ahead and jump into the recommendations. First and foremost, I highly recommend that you create a line item in your budget specifically for groceries, household products, beauty, and entertainment. So I noticed in your form, Mary, that you stated that you do not have a line item inside of your budget for these things. So the very first thing that I did was include a line item in your budget for those categories. Okay, so what I did was kind of like ballpark and estimated what you will probably be spending on household products and food each month, and what you will be spending on beauty. But what I want you to do going forward is to actually pull your bank statements and see what you're truly spending each month in these particular categories. Okay, so definitely take a look at last month, even the last 2 months, to see what you've truly been spending inside of those particular categories so that you can get an accurate number. One other thing I do want to mention is that when you download my free monthly budget template, you're not only getting the template, but you're also getting a budget fact sheet, which includes a list of things you should have inside of your budget. If you're leaning on the fence as to whether or not you want to get this free monthly budget template, this is another benefit that you will get inside of this free monthly budget template. Okay, so be sure to click the link down in my description box. In addition to that, you can probably tell that I kind of kept your expenses low for beauty and entertainment, and the reason behind that is because you are currently behind on your bills and you're drowning in debts. So what I never will recommend is for you guys to completely wipe out entertainment. No. What I would recommend is that you still have an entertainment line item inside of your budget and a beauty line item inside of your budget, because these are things that we need as people to just live out our everyday lives. Okay, but what I am going to do is to reduce this category probably significantly so you can reach your other financial goals. So what I did was I set aside $150, and I did this one because I want you to start DIYing some of your beauty expenses. Okay, or I would like for you to reduce the amount of times that you're getting these beauty expenses done. Okay, so you don't have to get your hair done every 2 weeks. You don't need to get your nails done every week. Some things you're going to have to learn how to do on your own for this season of your life until you're current on your bills and you're completely out of debt. Okay, so YouTube University is the best place to learn how to do any and everything. Learn how to do some of your beauty maintenance items at home so that you can save some money. In addition to that, I also recommend that in that variable expense category that you decide to use cash envelopes. Okay, so for the things like gas for your car, groceries and household items, beauty, entertainment, miscellaneous, I want you to develop cash envelopes for those items. Okay, and the reasoning behind that is because these are the areas that we typically overspend in. Okay, we're not typically overspending in our fixed expenses such as our rent, our mortgage, our utilities. No, it's when it's time to eat out, when it's time to shop, when it's time to have fun. These are the areas that we're tending to overspend in. So I highly recommend that you create cash envelopes for these categories. I do have a few videos here on my channel, which I will link up in the cards and down in the description box, that will show you how to get started with cash envelopes. But cash envelopes will be your best friend during this journey. Another major thing that I included inside of your budget was for you to save $1,000 for a starter emergency fund. Okay, I think this is a perfect place to start. One, because you're living at home, and two, I think you can get this done within this budget. Okay, looking at your numbers, you still had a lot of money left over that was not accounted for, and I believe that once you get your bills current, the next step for you to do is to get that starter emergency fund set in place. Okay, so I definitely recommend that you make this a top goal for yourself for the year of 2024 to get this done. Okay, I think you can get this done with your income within the next 3 months. Okay, and when you save that starter emergency fund, I highly recommend that you leave it inside of a high yield savings account. Okay, so I have done videos here on my channel. I've been very transparent with you guys about my love of high yield savings accounts. So what I'll do is go ahead and link that video up here in the cards and down in the description box so that you guys can get you a high yield savings account today. Okay, this is where you're going to be making a lot more entrance compared to the traditional banks that are in your city. Okay, so last month I literally made $97 just by leaving my money inside of a high yield savings account with Ally. Okay, and I'm super thankful and excited to share that Ally has extended my referral code with them. Okay, so if you're looking to open up a high yield savings account, I highly recommend checking out Ally, and what I'll do is I'll leave my referral code down in my description box so that you can get started today. Also offering a $100 welcome bonus to all new customers. Okay, so be sure to check that link out down in my description box, read the terms and conditions. Okay, so the next recommendation that I have for you is to start giving 10% of your income. Okay, so I'm a firm believer of tithing and giving, and I believe that every believer should be giving 10% to their local church. Okay, and I know everyone on this video is not a believer, but even if you're not a believer, I highly recommend that you still get in the habit of giving away 10% of your income. It may not be to a local church, but it could be to an organization or a charity or a nonprofit that you support. Okay, goal for us, even while we're drowning in debt, is to start building our generosity muscle so that when we make additional income, when we make more money, that this wouldn't be a hard skill for us to exercise. Okay, so definitely give 10% of your income away either to your local church or a charity of your choice. In addition to that, I definitely want you to start your debt snowball. Okay, so Mary, you have tons and tons of debts. You have things that are in collections. You have credit cards, you have student loans, and a car payment. So the very first thing that I would recommend that you do is to create a debt snowball. This is where you will write out on paper all of the debts that you currently have. Okay, and with the debt snowball, you write out all of your debts from smallest to largest. Okay, despite the interest rate. So what I would like for you to do is to actually, and I think you already have this tracker, is to download my debt-free tracker. Okay, so I do have a paid debt-free tracker on my website, which will give you not only a tracker to track your progress, but it also will give you access to my On the Road to Freedom chart. Okay, and with this On the Road to Freedom chart, this will let you stay organized when it comes to listing out your debts. So I definitely want you to take that page out of the free tracker and actually write out all of your debts from smallest to largest. If I'm looking at your debts just very quickly and briefly, the very first debt that you want to start attacking is your first premier debt. Okay, after you start attacking that first premier debt, you then want to move on to the Discover credit card that you have and then start working your way through. Another thing that I also want you to do is to also look into settling your debts. Okay, so you do have a lot of debts that are in collections, and what I highly recommend is that you look at getting those debts settled. Earlier in the year, I actually did another video on this for another subscriber, sharing how she could start settling her debts. I won't go into detail on how to settle your debts, but what I will do is I will actually link a video that I created earlier this year for another subscriber up here in the cards, and I'll also link it down in the description box. Another thing that I noticed, just based off of looking at the types of debt that you have and the things that you have inside of collections, what I highly recommend that you do is also create sinking funds for your major purchases, okay? I believe this can go for anyone. If you know you're gonna have major purchases coming up throughout the year, sinking funds is the way to go, okay? We all know that Christmas will be coming up in the next 3 months, and now is the perfect time to start setting a little bit of money aside each month if you think you're going to participate in giving this year, okay? And one cool thing that I do want to add is that if you decide to open up an Ally account, you will have access to something called buckets, okay? And with these buckets, you will be able to create sinking funds for all the little areas of your life. So it could be for Christmas, for a new car, for a new refrigerator, for your child's birthday, to I don't know, get a new laptop, to take a vacation. Whatever it is, you can create a sinking fund for that item or for that experience. So now I do want to touch on your student loans. So first and foremost, I do want to commend you for getting on a actual student loan repayment plan, okay? Mary shared with us that she is currently on the SAVE plan, okay? But inside of her form, she also mentioned that she is going to try to get student loan forgiveness. So I know a lot of people out there are thinking like, hey, I'll pay off everything else, but I'm not going to touch my student loans. For one or two reasons. One, either the student loan balance is super high, they feel like it's the size of a mortgage and it's just not totally worth it for them to spend all of their hard-earned money to pay that balance off. Or two, they believe that they're going to get student loan forgiveness. Whatever the case may be, I want you to not put your life on hold, and I do not want you to stay bondage with your student loans just so that you can get it forgiven. If we're being honest and we're looking at the facts, so many things change from time to time. One minute you may qualify, the next minute you may not qualify. But in Mary's case, Mary stated that she works for a local nonprofit and that she will be able to qualify for student loan forgiveness, okay? So here's what I want to say to that. If you have to put your life on hold for 10 years and be in bondage, be in debt, student loan debt for 10 years just to get these loans forgiven, I want you to reconsider. I do not want you to put your life on hold for a maybe, okay? You may get your student loans forgiven, okay? What I want you to do is actually own up to this decision that you made to take out student loans. And what I want you to do is actually to put into place a plan, a strategy to help you get out of debt, to help you pay off of these student loans, okay? So I don't want you to just forget about them and say, I'm just gonna sit and hold on to them for 10 years. No, I want you to buckle down, add them inside of your snowball, and actually start attacking them when that time comes, okay? So definitely, I commend you for being on the SAVE plan, but I do want to encourage you not to put your life on hold. So I do want to share that I do have a free student loan ebook that you can download today, which will kind of give you a game plan if you want to get in control of tackling your finances and tackling your student loans and not waiting for the government to do it for you, okay? Go ahead and leave that ebook down in my description box. Honestly, Mary, in your case, I definitely want you to take advantage of you living at home. In your case right now, I think you're in a very great spot where you can actually transform your life and your finances over the next 2 to 5 years. If you just truly buckle down and get serious and delay some gratification for those next couple of years. I believe that your financial future can be extremely bright if you decide to make some sacrifices for the next 2 to 5 years of your life so that you can truly be financially free. Mary wrote inside of her forum that she is very thankful for the Cash and Curls community. She stated that she is learning a lot from the information that I am providing to you guys, but she wanted to know why she's so broke. Okay, she stated that she has a lot of money coming in through her hands, but she is so broke. She wanted some insight as to how she can better manage her finances. Okay, first and foremost, Mary, I do want to say congratulations on taking the first step to recognizing that you do have a problem. I believe that's one of the hardest things that many millennials cannot do. They do not want to accept the fact that they are struggling with their money and that they have some things to learn. So Mary, I just want to give you a round of applause for one, being connected inside of the Cash and Curls community and just being an active learner and trying to learn more about finances and how to manage your personal finances well. So be proud of yourself, because most 26-year-olds are not thinking the way that you're thinking. The biggest thing here with high income earners is that you haven't had a mindset shift just yet. We have to reprogram our minds as to how we should be handling money. Secondly, I think it's time for us to renew our money habits. Okay, so what I highly recommend that you do is that you stay connected to the community and that you continue to follow credible financial educators within this personal finance world and actually start applying what you're learning. Okay, so I've learned recently that it's not okay to just get all of the knowledge, but you also have to apply the knowledge and you have to do something with the things that you have learned. So definitely, when you're watching this video, I know I've listed out a few things that you should probably check out, but what I want you to do is to not just sit on that knowledge, but actually apply it to your life so that you can start reaping the benefits. In addition to that, I also want you to take a moment to sit with your finances. I want you to actually physically print out your last month bank statement, the last 2-3 months. Print it out and just sit and look. Okay, look at those statements and look at what you're spending your money on. I want you to not only look at those statements, but I also want you to take a moment to dream. While you're dreaming and while you're planning, I want you to take a moment to just think, are the things that I'm doing today going to lead me to the life I want to live 2 years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years to now? Okay, and if the answer is no, it's time to make some adjustments. We need to take a moment to do a mid-year check-in and a mid-year reset to make sure we're actually in line with reaching our goals. So I actually created a video here on my channel showing you guys how to do that. So what I'll do is go ahead and link that video up in the cards and down in the description box as well, so that you can kind of like check in with yourself and see if you're on track with paying off these cards, with getting out of collections and paying off your debt. The next thing that I highly recommend is that you establish a solid payday routine. Okay, one of the main reasons why people do not know where their money is going is because they do not have a solid payday routine. A payday routine is going to make sure that you're reaching not only your monthly goals, but your quarterly and yearly goals as well. In addition to that, looking at your income and looking at your debts that you have and the things that you are in collections in, I could tell that one, you probably have lived above your means or you're currently living above your means. So I definitely want you to take a moment to just truly have an honest conversation with yourself and ask yourself, am I living above my means? Okay, and if you are, I just want to encourage you that it's okay to live within your means and to live below your means. You are still young, you still have time, and that one day you will be able to live this life that you desire if you get your finances cleaned up today. Lastly, I just want you to be very cautious of cash wasting entertainment. Okay, these are things such as like eating out, getting coffee, just buying little knick-knack items and certain entertainments and shopping, impulse shopping. Be mindful of these small little purchases that you're making and just adopt a healthier lifestyle when it comes to entertainment in your social life. All right, so my next recommendation for you, Mary, is to cut up those credit cards, okay? We have to get credit cards out of our life, okay? Credit cards cannot be used as supplemental income, and it cannot be used as an emergency fund. So I highly recommend that once you pay off that Discover card and all your other credit cards that you have or lines of credit that are open, I highly recommend that you draw a line in the sand and say that you are done with it, okay? Because this is going to keep you in that rat race of living paycheck to paycheck, and pay them off, let them go, and get in the habit of saving up for purchases and delaying gratification. One thing I do want to say is that making more money is not going to solve all of your financial problems, okay? And just hear me out for a second. If you cannot manage the money that you currently have, if you don't have a solid payday routine, if you're not actively budgeting, if you're not actively paying attention to your statements each month, making more money is not going to help you, okay? You have to get in the habit of learning how to manage the money you currently have. If you cannot manage the little that you have, you will not be able to manage the more that you're desiring for, okay? So now I believe it's the perfect time for us all to learn how to manage the money we have in front of us, okay? There's nothing wrong with wanting more money for yourself, wanting more money for your family, but know that when you get this money, you're still gonna have to know how to manage it, okay? Because if you don't know how to manage it, you're just gonna create more financial problems for yourself. You're gonna get into more debts, and it's honestly gonna become a curse and not a blessing. So let's go ahead and jump into the homework. So the homework tonight is just very simple. First and foremost is to download my free monthly budget template. Secondly is to get started on your budget today, okay? Stop putting it off. Stop waiting until next month. Stop waiting until next year. Go ahead and get that budget done today. If not today, make it a priority to get it done this week. A huge shout out to Mary. Mary, thank you so much for being a loyal subscriber to the Cash and Curls community. I truly appreciate all your support and just being an active community member. And I just hope that this video was very helpful for you today. I pray that this video blessed you and gave you some insight on how you can start making some adjustments to your finances so that you can reach financial freedom, okay? So if you would like to be a next subscriber featured here on my YouTube channel for my Budgeting with Me series, all you have to do is to click the link in my description box and fill out the form, okay? So if you fill out the form and you're detailed with your income and your expenses, you could be the next potential subscriber featured here on my YouTube channel. All right, so that is all that I have for you guys today. Never forget that you can win with money, and I am rooting for you. And until next time, friends, I will see you in my next video. Bye.